Sure, 7220. Okay, everything's ready? Okay, before we get started this morning, I want to give everybody a report on the COVID. Last week in the state of Kentucky, this was a total of 7 days, there was over 20,577 new cases last week in the state of Kentucky. Yesterday, there was 2,135, which was the largest Monday that's ever been announced. It was 621 more cases than it was last Monday. Now, as far as Logan County, we've had 1,183 recorded cases. We've had 32 deaths and 929 people recovered. We've got 222 right now active cases walking around the county as of yesterday afternoon. The total district, Barren River District, has had 12,477 cases, which is up 387 since last Friday. Logan County was up 48 since Friday, with 157 deaths. 10,369 have recovered, leaving a total of 1,951 total cases in the Barren River District. And out of the 10-county area, that don't include Allen or Monroe County. It's just 8 counties. So anyhow, we need to keep that in mind this morning as we pray, and keep in mind the people in our community that's hurting. I know several that's in life and death situations, and several that's needing surgery. So with that being said, Thomas, will you lead us in our prayer?
Sure. Let's pray. Dear most gracious Heavenly Father, we just come to you this morning and just seek your wisdom, Lord, and pray that your Holy Spirit would fall upon us and lead us in a way that would be pleasing unto you, Lord, and would be good decisions for those whom we serve. And Lord, we thank you for the honor of allowing us to come and freely come here and make decisions without being persuaded by threats, and make the decisions that we know that would be good for our community. We thank you that we live as free people. We know that right comes from you, and we thank you for that, Lord. We thank you for the men and women of uniform who protect us to have those freedoms. And Lord, this Thanksgiving season, we just want to take this time to thank them, Lord, for their willingness to serve, to protect, to give up their personal lives to help and protect the lives of those whom they've never met. And we thank you for each and every one of them, Lord, and just pray a hedge of protection upon them this day. We thank you, Lord, for all those who are willing to serve, whether that's as an elected official or a first responder or a police officer. We thank you for the servant heart, Lord, of those people. And Lord, this Thanksgiving season, may they know that we honor them this day. Lord, we thank you for our government that you bestowed upon us. We thank you for our election process, and thank you so much how well it went here in Logan County. We thank you for all those who worked so hard to see that that was done. Lord, we lift up to you this time our president-elect and his administration. We just pray, Lord, that they're seeking you daily and diligently, asking for guidance, and Lord, may they do what's right in your eyes, Lord, not the eyes of our human flesh. Lord, there are many in our community that are hurting, whether it's from the effects of the COVID virus or just other ailments that we know about, those who are in surgery this hour, Lord, that I personally know about. I lift them all up to you and just pray your healing hand upon them, guide them and heal them. Just pray that you'll see them through this difficult time. Likewise, may we be faithful in seeking them out and serving them and support in every way we can, and as often as we can, Lord. Lord, we thank you again for this Thanksgiving season, as it'll be a little bit different, Lord, but the meaning of the season and the unity that it calls for in this country has not changed, Lord. Rather, we're gathering in a large number, small number, or even via telecommunication, Lord. We thank you have this season, that we can be thankful for the many gifts that you bestowed upon us, our families, and our country. Lord God, we thank you for the one who was lost last court meeting that we prayed about and was found, and thank you for that. And pray your healing hand upon him and the family, and comfort them, Lord, this time. Lord, we just ask that you go before us now, lead, guide, and direct us, and all things will give you honor. It's in your holy Son's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Okay, let's call the meeting to order with pledge to the American flag. And Barry, you want to lead us in this morning?
I sure would. Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, good morning. I'd like to welcome everybody to Logan County Fiscal Court. First item of business is the minutes from November 10th meeting.
Motion to approve minutes from the last meeting.
Okay, we got a motion to approve the minutes from the November 10th meeting. Any questions? Okay, got a second. Not hearing no questions, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crosley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, next item of business is the bill list and the supplemental bill.
Judge, I move the accept the bill list and the supplemental bill list.
Okay, do we have a second? We had a motion to approve the bill list.
Second.
Okay, got a second? Now, is there any question? If not, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crosley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, treasurer report, man.
Good morning.
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 In your folders, we have a list of budget transfers that we need to get approved.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and a second on the budget transfers. Any questions? Okay, not hearing any. You will see there is a transfer for $24,051.41. And that was due to, in the budget, we just planned one election, and we ended up paying for two this year, since we didn't have the primary till June. So if any of you's wondering what that is, that it just wasn't budgeted because we wasn't supposed to have but one in this election, in this budget. If no other questions, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
But those funds were covered though, right? That extra
Do what?
money, the extra money that it cost, it's covered with the money. Was it covered?
I'm sorry.
Do we have money to cover that extra
Yes.
fund? Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I thought that 922,000 item, we can pay for some of that on there?
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
Crosley,
No, I might be telling you wrong about that, Tyler. But what it is, you know, at the end of the year, we can use that money to plan next
Oh.
year's budget.
Okay.
Okay?
Crosley,
Jack?
can you not hear me?
Jack?
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick,
Yes.
Today, we need to transfer $105,000 from the occupational net profits tax fund to the jail fund.
I'm making.
Okay, got a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Got a second. Any question? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick,
Yes.
We need to transfer $15,000 from the occupational net profits tax fund to the 911 fund.
So moved. Second.
Got a motion and a second for that transfer. Is there any questions? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick,
Yes.
And we need to transfer $150 from the occupational net profits tax fund to the special reserve fund.
$150.
That's
Well,
just a
it-
little transfer that we decided we would do to keep that account active.
Okay. That's right, I remember that.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'll
But
make
now, I can do more if you want to.
a shot. I'll make it in.
You say 150?
Yes, sir.
It was to keep the account active, I remember that now,
Yeah.
for there would be.
Remember Mr. Cowan said about every 2 or 3 months, we would transfer money into it to keep it active.
Oh, okay.
Because they were gonna turn it over as unclaimed property if we didn't do something to keep it active. So
Okay.
I'll put that forward.
Okay, well, we had a second. Who was the second?
I didn't hear one.
Okay.
I'll second it. If nobody
Okay,
has-
second by Tyler. Okay, is there any questions? I think all the questions have been answered. Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick,
Yes.
and that's all I have.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda. Okay, road work request, we got a lot going on out there, so we don't have either one of those guys here. But if y'all got any, write them down, and, or whatever it is, then we'll go through the road work request. Again, every one of you should have this report, and be able to look at this report and see what's been done in your district. So, Tyler, we'll start with you.
Yeah. District 1's continue maintenance, got the pavers going, paving's looking good. Appreciate everything.
Okay. District 3, just continue maintenance. And Thomas, I appreciate the help on the radio show yesterday. The state went out there and looked at that complaint that you had on the radio, so I appreciate you taking care of that too. But continue maintenance, thank you.
Hey, Jack, your road work request.
Yeah, I'd like to, hey, Kelly, don't forget the white lines on the side of Mortimer Road.
White line.
The white lines on the side of Mortimer Road. Everything else is good.
I can write it down on one of those pieces of paper.
Yeah.
For him, since he's not here.
He is on this one.
Okay,
That's really not for a work order, it's just to finish up that road.
He had just had it paved.
White
so I put
lines on
white
the
lines
side.
on it, I think.
I'll just write it down on one of those little sheets for him, since he's
I
not
think
here.
so. I mean, it's,
okay, I guess it's Jason's turn, and
I just got on Warner Chick Road, the sign's missing on the Homer end. And then Coon Range Road, that stop sign's been knocked down about 10 times, and it needs to be, I've just been kind of setting it back up, so I'm gonna put that on here to get it drove down into the ground. And other than that, just continue maintenance and everything, all the paving and shouldering the guys have been doing looks good.
District 5, everything's good.
District 6, continue maintenance, thanks for the paving on Charlie Mack and Stevenson Mill, and continue the great work. Happy Thanksgiving.
Okay, y'all heard the roadwork request. Any questions?
Hey, Logan, I've got to put something on mine. Is that okay? We ain't voted on it yet, right? Kate's Bypass street sign missing on the 79 side. Just want to see if we can get that replaced.
I know, something, just, I'll bounce off y'all, say it's just,
Okay, thank you, appreciate
let
it.
y'all think about it. A lot of these places we're having signs stolen, they're stealing aluminum signs and stuff. And I was in another county, and they put 4x4s up and painted the name on the 4x4. Would they stay better on some of these places?
We,
The signs are-
we talked to them, Barry, about that. You know, I think, matter of fact, they want the 2x4s on some of them now. You know what I'm talking about, and I know where you're talking about. But the cost of doing that's almost as expensive as doing, but now they might stay.
That's what they say, if you put them in concrete, they might stay, because I think they like the sign to hang up somewhere, or
Yeah.
they, you know, 4x4s.
We're definitely having problems with our signs. Some of them are not lasting 10 days.
That's what I was wondering, because we just keep putting signs up, and I just happened to go by that, and I said, well, I wonder if that'll stay better in some of these places.
Yeah.
But y'all think about it, it was just something I wanted to, just have to think about.
Yeah, I know the county you're talking about. Okay, do we have a motion on the roadwork request?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, got a motion second. Is there any questions? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, elected officials. Scotty, you got anything today? Okay. Steve, you got anything?
No, sir.
I just barely can see you got a light behind you just like I am. Okay, we'll move on then to department heads agenda.
Morning.
How are y'all?
All right.
I just wanted to ask the court's permission. Whenever we got the grant for the CAD system, we received 20 licenses for mobiles. The sheriff's office right now has only used 11 of them. And I would like to, if it's okay with the court, give one license to Adderable PD, one license to Lewisburg PD, one to Auburn, and 3 to Russellville to get them started on the system. And that way it'll still leave some here for Steve's new units that are coming out. But that way we can get them on our new system as well, live with us. But I wanted to ask the permission.
What are we giving them?
That's what I want to know. I'm
It's a
lost.
license for them to run the mobile units in their car.
But it's no equipment.
No equipment, it's just the
number.
license. Mhm.
If we need more, can we get more?
Yes, we can get more, because RPD, of course, is going to have to,
Oh, you good.
I'm sorry, I can't. But RPD is going to have to get more for all their units. But with the ones we have left over, I would like to get some of them started on them and just kind of course, I know one gives Adderable all theirs and one gives Lewisburg all theirs. Allen is really the only one who's mentioned really wanting to go online right now.
So how many, do that number again?
There's one for Adderable, one for Lewisburg, one for Auburn, and 3 for RPD. That's 6. That still leaves 3 remaining with us.
I'm still not straight. We're getting a license for what? They can do what now?
Okay, Steve, you want to help me explain to me?
It's for the computers in the cars, and basically it's the license that allows the computer to talk to dispatch.
Oh,
It's
okay.
kind of like
Okay.
it's kind of like an FCC license.
Well, I mean, who would have it in each town? The police or
The
who?
police.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
It'll
all-
just have that some of the units will go ahead and be able to be online with us, just like Steve's units are now.
It'll allow them to talk to dispatch through their car instead of.
And they'll be able to see
Less
what
radio
we're doing.
Okay.
Okay, y'all have heard the request. Do we have a motion?
I'll make it.
Second.
Okay, got a motion and a second to distribute these license to each city. And Is there any questions?
What will it cost if we can get a license? How much is it for a license, or is it a little bit high?
I really don't know because it was included in the grant. But, you know, they'll be responsible for, of course, their own MDTs. We will not pay for their computers or anything like that, installation and all that. But I know Steve's got 2 new units, and that still leaves license for him when they get out of the academy.
Okay, we got, any other questions? Okay, if not, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, Nathan, you got anything this morning?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm going to try to go through this in as complete a way as possible so that everybody is on the same page, so forgive me if I'm a little bit verbose. But I included in the court folders for most, and Jack, I'll try to explain this for you too. What it is I put in is the recycling center contract that we have out at Morgantown Road, the contract we have currently with Auburn Pallet and Mark Belcher, and also a sample request for proposal for a new contract. And here's the story. We've been in discussions with Mark Belcher and Auburn Pallet about our current contract, and Judge Chick and Mr. Belcher, who owns Auburn Pallet, and I we all met in here and we discussed the contract. And Mr. Belcher, given the current state of recycling with right now commodities being a lot lower than they have been in the past, he didn't feel like he could continue under the current agreement. He was unable to continue with the current terms. And we did also want to continue to recycle paper at the recycling center, which he didn't feel he was able to do at this time. And so, you know, we thank Mr. Belcher. He's been doing this for over 3 years now. We appreciate his service for the county and helping us with that. But we did decide, Judge Chick talked with him, and we wanted to go ahead and put it back out for bids again for those, the hauling and the selling of our recyclables at the recycling center out there on Morgantown Road. And in the contract I included some things we may not be able to get again. One of the things I'm finding as I've talked to several potential contractors with this, and one of the things they may not be able to do is leave a trailer for us. Right now, Mark Belcher leaves a trailer out there for us to store our cardboard bales and paper boxes. And we may or may not be able to get it again because our volume is just really low at this time because we don't have the labor that we've had. We unfortunately, and hope to get it again soon, but right now we just don't have the volumes for a lot of these companies. But the exact payment terms also, right now what Mr. Belcher does is he sells the material at the highest price and then he takes $30 off per ton, the high side market value of that, and gives that to the county. And we might could even do a little better than those terms, depending. Several different ones do it different ways. And like I said, I've talked to several companies about this, and I've had 7 right now that have expressed an interest, most out of Tennessee, 1 out of Bowling Green. Unfortunately, no one locally. That there's some that might be interested. A lot don't necessarily want to deal with the paper, but we'll see how many actually put in a bid. And I have checked with the judge, I checked with Tim who works at the recycling center, and I checked with the county attorney about the request for proposal that I put out, and they seem to think it's okay and that it covers everything. And we wanted to get permission to put this out for bids. It is unfortunately a difficult time with the holidays, but we did want to check on that and see if we could go ahead and do that at some point really soon. And Mr. Belcher will continue to work with us through the holidays until we get something together. So I know there might be some questions with this, and I'm sure take those.
I don't have a question, but on the trailer situation, I wouldn't be opposed if needed, because they're not super expensive. We could buy our own trailer. We've had one before that was a little bit of a pain in the neck, always keeping up where that was at, but that was a very odd situation. But we could purchase an enclosed box trailer. If a company.
That sounds nice to me.
If a company says, hey, I don't have a trailer and I'm not gonna provide it, it's your responsibility. I think somewhere around 5, but Barry knows better than me, 5 to 10 grand, depends on how nice you want it, can get you one. Is that not correct, Barry?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and I'll comment to that too.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's all- that's all I-
yeah, 10 will get you a pretty nice road trailer.
Okay, that's all.
I was wondering, what they're not wanting to do is supply a trailer for us to sit here. If we had some way to store a trailer load, because they'll come in with a trailer and load up a load. They just don't want to leave one sitting here. Would we be better off to try to have enough to hold the whole trailer load and then just take the tow motor and put it on theirs when they come in and get it?
We've talked about some different things with that. You know, we have to keep it dry, right? So we can't store it outside. And so Tim out there is looking at some different ways we could stack it up in there in the building itself. It would be nice to have some sort of outbuilding or something out there to put it in. But right now, of course, that'd be money as well. So that's kind of what you're talking about, right? Just
Yeah, I
a place
was
to store it.
thinking, or even if we had a trailer that we stacked it in, and then when they come, just take it off of our trailer, you could get a $3,000 trailer if it didn't have to be roadworthy.
Yeah.
And just take it off of that one and take the tow motor and load their trailer.
It would be a little extra work, I guess, putting it in a trailer and then taking it out. Tim was we did talk a little bit about that. And we have one loading dock. So you put it in.
That wouldn't work, because you
Yeah.
have to take it out. and
You have to move it out and then move the one they bring in. So that was our concern with that particular item.
So you'd almost have to own 2 trailers, basically. We have one they pick up and then
The
put.
thing about it is, the nightmare, the other one, our trailer ended up somewhere else, and, but you got, what if it has a roadworthy issue, go into the plan or whatever they're doing with it, then we got to send somebody to fix it. You got the liability risk of the trailer.
Couldn't find it died, or, it was one of them things where everybody pulled together and everybody bought a trailer. You bought one, you bought one, you bought one, you bought one, and you gave it to somebody else, and they managed it, you never could find it. And, then they get a phone call one day and say, hey, your trailer's tore up. You've never laid eyes on this trailer, so it was
The one loading dock would be.
wasn't the best situation. I mean, it wasn't.
And basically, I imagine that's this company's problem. You know what I'm talking about, they'd have to leave a trailer and take ours, and they might take our trailer somewhere else. And that's exactly what we run into before, Barry, with Bluegrass.
That's what I was trying to get around.
Yeah, the difference would be, this trailer is now under our care, control, and management. We never, from the time you and I took to court, we never saw the trailer. They even knew the trailer existed until we got a phone call one day and said something was
Well,
wrong.
no, we knew about it. We looked for it. Me and Joe spent,
That's what I'm saying. When we
Weeks.
came on court, it ain't like it was a police cruiser, and we knew it was out here, and Stephen was, changing the tires on it and keeping it, we'd never seen this trailer. But this would be a little different. It's gonna be out there in our facility. When they come get it, we know what it's gonna look like when they bring it back. We know what, hey, wait a minute, it's got a flat tire on it, guys, y'all need to fix the flat tire, or whatever, it's a little different. It's gonna be sitting on our property. And a trailer's gonna be a lot cheaper than a building. And the other experience I've had with those cardboard bales, the more times you handle them, the more they get pushed up against a wall, they break. If somebody runs the forks through the side of a building, the less times you handle it, the better you are.
How long is it, like when they come pick up the trailer load, how long does it take for them to bring it back?
You talk about our current situation? Like, what we'll do, the way we do it right now, he spots us a trailer and just leaves it on site till we fill it up. And so, in general, he'll bring it back fairly. It may take him a week or two to come get it, but once he comes and gets it, he'll usually bring us one back either that day or the next day.
So if we owned our own, what we have to do is have a week or two of somewhere to put these,
Yeah, we could do
until it
that.
comes
Yeah,
back.
we could make that work.
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
I
If
said,
you'll-
we cross that bridge when it comes, because hopefully somebody will supply their own trailer, because that would make more sense logistically for a company to just bring their own trailer and get it, and not have to worry about running back and forth.
And there are companies that are willing to spot a trailer. It's just the fact that it may be like a rental fee if we have to leave it there for a while. Because see, right now it's taking a couple of months to fill it up because it's a lot slower. And so, you know, it's a couple of $100 or $200 rent out there to do it. It kind of really takes off the value of what we do get for the cardboard. So.
Is that a month or a year?
Some of the ones I've talked to, they're willing to spot a trailer and leave it for us, but it's like $100 a month rental fee.
We rent our own?
A couple $100 after the first month.
Different. 3 years, 35 years, you buy it.
Well, I mean, but if it's a temporary thing, just because we're not doing as many cardboard boxes, right? Is that why it's
That
kind
would
of,
be part of it, yeah. If we could keep a trailer moving in and out,
Yeah.
it would obviously cost a lot less.
Yeah.
I talked to one company, if it's just a month, it would be free. That's their terms they would have right now.
yeah, okay.
So-
Well, I guess we're putting out a bid for bid. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah.
The storage issue, so when the bids come in,
Okay, we basically asking to be able to put this proposal out. It'll probably be January before we, get everything back with going through the holidays and time to get it in the paper and get it back. It'll probably be January proposal. But we really got to see what these people propose, what they are telling Nathan, and then the understanding I got from talking to Nathan and talking to Mark, we don't know how they're going to bid it. They might bid it similar to what it is. They might, one of them might want the materials enough that they would build a trailer. So basically, we're just asking to be able to put this proposal out.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion second to go ahead and put this proposal out, and the situation is that recyclables the last couple, 3 years, they've been up and down. I mean, there's just no market whatsoever hardly for plastics anymore.
Unfortunately.
And,
Cardboard is actually, with the COVID, a little bit up.
Yeah.
But it's really unstable,
Yeah.
the price right now, so.
okay.
Judge, I just wanted to ask you, so we're going to wait and put this out in the paper a little bit later is kind of the thing?
I think we'll put it out, we can get it out where it'd be within 21 days of January the 12th. I think it'd be the first meeting in January. And that way we'll, with the holidays and the things, we'll need to check with the newspaper. We can't do it more than 21 days, and we can't do it less than 7. So I think you and Janice will need to work together and find out when the date is to put it in the paper, okay?
We sure will.
Okay, and then you need to get a name and address from everybody that you talk to, and other than putting it in the paper, we'll make sure that they get the proposal,
I sure will.
okay?
Make sure they get
Okay.
everything they need.
Yeah, I got a question.
Yes, sir.
In your report, where you had the litter pickup,
Yes.
I noticed you said a bit of trash left now. Do you mean there's a bit left where they picked up or past that 5 miles?
Which group was it in particular? And I'll tell you. Yeah. They did a pretty good job. There was just a teeny bit. I note that.
You mean
They did a good
in
job.
there where they picked up?
Yeah, where they picked up, it was a little bit left.
Well, they didn't do a good job then.
Well,
I mean, if you could see it, they ought to see it.
well, we give them a little bit of
It was
leeway.
threw out as soon as they was done.
Yeah, and that's what I give it to them because I don't get to check it sometimes for a couple of days because it's done on the
Well,
weekends.
of course, they could throw some out if you.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be some thrown out if you wait that long.
Mr. Kyle, I pick up my yard 3 times a week,
Well,
and,
I thought if you was out there, you seen it.
Yeah, but
I don't mean 2 or 3 days later. I agree with that. I mean,
yeah,
but I pick up my property, and if y'all came by there, probably every one of you seen me out there picking it up. But I pick up my property 3 times a week, and
Yeah,
And sometimes the next day I can get home
I
and,
thought you meant soon as they got through. If you was out there, as soon as they got through, if you seen it, they should have seen it. That's
Well, that's true, but in the particular case you're talking about, I don't, there's like a standard I would say that's like the super, there's some groups that just go above and beyond the total, it's just totally almost immaculate, if you will. And then there's groups that they do what they do fine. And that's kind of what I was trying to indicate on that form. So, yeah, but they did fine. Now, I have had some groups this year that have done less so. And, we try to talk to them about encouraging them if they pick up again with us next time to do better. And I actually had to send out another group to pick up more. So sometimes we do have that issue as well. So, but I do appreciate all the nonprofits because they've helped, since we haven't been able to have the crew from the detention center. We do appreciate the nonprofits and what they do.
Well, I mean, Rich, we talked about that. The crew can go out whenever the jailer says they can now, can't it? I read somewhere in the paper where the state says they can go out again.
Right, and like I said, he's very glad to talk with you about it, and I guess he talked with Ms. Cooper about it, but yeah, he's just got to have the inmate levels back up to the level where he can. Right now, what I read in the paper was because of just the lack of inmates, he barely has enough to keep the jail going.
Yeah, well, that's what I read that here.
yeah.
So,
You need, if y'all got a question, just give Phil a call
he's glad to talk to you.
and talk to him.
He's been good to work with us and get the inmates out when he has the ability to. So,
Okay, we did get a motion, I think, then we did put this out, we got a second, but we haven't voted yet, I don't think. Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes,
nothing else. Thank you.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nathan. Jack, you got something? Okay, John, have you got anything from the ambulance service?
Nothing needs action, Judge. I will say that from a street level perspective, what we're seeing, COVID related in regard to.
Come up with that mic so we can all hear you.
Anyway, as I was saying, we don't have anything actionable. Just from our perspective, on a street level perspective in regard to COVID, what we're seeing reflects exactly the numbers you were given this morning. Our numbers were up. I was just talking with Ginger at dispatch and how it's challenging, that the volume's up, patient acuity's up. We're working with local assets, regional assets, and even state assets to kind of stay ahead of everything, to kind of lean forward on it. We encourage everybody to continue to stay the course, take prudent precautions, stay safe, stay healthy, because the numbers are going up. We're seeing a lot
Yes.
of COVID right now. I will say, if I may, in regard to healthcare in Logan County, whether that be pre-hospital, hospital, clinics, long-term, you can really be proud of what's going on out there. I'm seeing that everybody's working together. A lot of challenges. It's hard right now. But across the board, everybody's doing well. And we're really working hard to combat that. So,
Okay,
give you guys a heads up.
I talked to the health department yesterday, and there is some hope out there that maybe some of these vaccines will be available.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And about the middle toward the end of December.
Yes.
And the people are supposed to get the vaccine first. Now, what they're doing, they're going to send a pod.
Right.
Okay. And they said if a county needed somewhere close to 300 to vaccinate all first responders and all medical workers, I'm just throwing a number out there. I hope if Chris is listening, she's hoping I'm just throwing a number out there, that the first shipment hopefully will receive a third of what we need. And then if everything goes good, we'll be getting a little shipment every week. And the first people that get vaccinated be medical workers and first responders. Now, there's a big variety of people in those first responders. Hopefully it'll cover the volunteer fire departments too. I mean, I asked that question too, and it does say something about volunteers. And then somewhere if everything goes good, somewhere about the middle of January, it's a possibility that they'll be able to start treating some of the people, the patients. I mean, give them vaccines, like in the nursing homes and stuff like that. And then they'll do the older population first.
That's right.
Now,
Yeah, and to be clear, those plans are happening right now. I know the EMs, the health department, the hospital, and EMS are all working together to push that out as efficiently as we can.
Yeah.
All those plans are really fluid. We don't know what we're going to get when, but we want to, like I said before, we want to lean forward to make sure that when that does happen, when somebody pulls that trigger, we want to get that stuff out and get it done
yeah.
for the people in the community as best and as quickly as we can. So,
But the hot topic is that Pfizer that's got to be, refrigerated so cold.
it does.
And I think that's going to be distributed by the Kentucky National Guard. And they'll be taking pods and dry ice and keeping it cold.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts. Like I said, it's fluid and plans change, but
Yeah.
it's coming together. Everybody's doing what they should, and I think as a county, we can kind of be proud of where we're at and where we're going. So
We appreciate everything y'all do, Rand, and all the medical personnel. Appreciate everything.
I guess the big question is how many people are going to be willing to take it right off the bat.
That's the goal. The question everybody's trying to find out. But I encourage everybody to do your own research and make their own decisions. But
We talking about the vaccine?
Yeah.
I take it right now. if they-
Me too.
Well, I will
Bring it
too,
on.
but now, I don't know if everybody's willing to do
Me too,
that.
Bowden.
I'll wait 6 months after y'all take it, see that, and,
Well, if you're gonna start with the older generation, I'm gonna be here to y'all anyway.
you'll be the sacrificial lamb, right? I'll keep a close eye on you, make sure you tell me when you take it.
Okay. Is that all the department heads? I think it is. All right, judges' announcements. You should have got an email this morning. I wrote this down because I knew it was going to happen yesterday afternoon. The Common Ground meeting that was scheduled for December the 8th is going to have to be rescheduled. It turned out that that was a meeting night for another government here in Logan County, and plus the spread of this COVID. We didn't know whether it'd be safe to put that many people in one room.
Can we not do Zoom? Like it cannot be a Zoom meeting, like everybody, you can have 300 people or more in a Zoom meeting.
Well, maybe that's the way we can set it up,
Yeah.
Tyler.
Okay.
But it's gonna have to be, it'll take a little time to do that.
Yeah.
And then usually these Common Ground meetings are called through our economic development, through LEAD.
Yeah.
And so we'll have to get all that worked out.
Yeah.
But, and then, to tell you the truth, I need to find out exactly where the zoning committee's at, what we were going to talk about, because that last meeting, it kind of,
Yeah.
so.
Well, there's no, and I've been waiting around, not pushing the issue for that fact, so the subdivision committee could make their revisions, but, not saying that we've waited long enough, but there's no reason that we can't be moving parallel. One cannot move, one is not being hindered of moving forward because of the other, okay, is what I'm saying. And so I thought it would be cleaner just to wait and say, okay, that's done, but that really, they work together, but they don't, one is not a part of the other. And, we need to be moving forward. This is going on close to a year.
Yeah.
And, all we report, I had reported on the radio. I had a phone call about it yesterday on the radio. And, I can't keep on using the excuse that we're waiting for the subdivision regulation boards to be rewritten when they really don't have anything to do with our committee. So I'd like to see that move forward. I don't care if it's a Zoom meeting. I don't care if it's I do think it would be smart if we could at least get the elected officials into one room and make the rest of it via Zoom for those who aren't comfortable showing up to a meeting that 50 people may be there.
Yes.
So, I would encourage Lee to reset that meeting and not be waiting till February, March, April, May to do that because of COVID. We've learned to work everything else around COVID. We can work this around COVID. So just encourage Tom and the board to reset that meeting at a reasonable time, and let's move forward and make it compatible where we can do Zoom, and those who don't feel comfortable attending in person can attend via Zoom, and they can be heard and seen and speak, just like Jack is today. But we need to move on.
I agree with you, Thomas, but this particular week, Tom's on vacation, and so it'll be next,
I'm not
probably.
saying next week, I know.
I think I'm like you, I
One
want,
thing right after another. that's
I'm trying to,
months and months
yeah.
and months and months down the road, and here we are at the end of November, and we're still using the same two things. We're waiting to have a common ground meeting, and we're waiting for the subdivision boards to redo their regs, and we need to move on.
Okay, well, we'll try to get that scheduled again as quick as we can. It does,
Yeah, because I had people call me, they plan on coming to it. I mean, it was, when it was eight.
yeah.
There's a big interest out there. I think there's a bunch of people gonna be at that meeting.
Well, there's interest both ways. They're wondering what they're gonna have to do, hoping they don't have to, and then,
I think you saw that in the last subdivision board.
Yeah,
meeting,
yeah.
How well it was attended, and
Yeah.
the good feedback that was given to that board that came from the group that was sitting out in the audience there.
Yeah.
So it was a really good meeting. And I think this common ground will be too, but I don't want to be sitting there having a conversation in March saying we're waiting for COVID to be in to have this meeting.
Okay, we'll see what we can do about getting it scheduled as quick as we can. Okay, there's a KECO Leadership Institute virtual training class on December the 3rd. Pre-registration is required. Logan County Fiscal Court will be providing lunch for county employees. Now, it's going to be the day after the next fiscal court. It'll be December the 9th. And if any of the masters, if any of you are available, we're going to pick it up and deliver it to the departments. I won't say that I need all 6 of you, but if 1 or 2 of you can help, it would be good. And I've already talked to the elected officials, and they're gonna pick theirs up themselves and deliver them. And Jack, you need to let your people know, about this Christmas dinner, and we'll work that out. Either I'll get it to you, or one of the masters will get it to you, or we can set it up where you can pick it up. Okay? And we've already turned the numbers in, and we, for everybody. Now, take for granted every department, we might have ordered, a few extra, county-wide, just in case we happen to hire somebody or something happened. But now, in the past, we've done it for, for a lot of other different groups, including our retirees. But we're not doing that this year. Okay, the Auburn Christmas Parade on December 13th has been canceled. There's a copy also in their agenda, a thank you letter from Agape for the Toys for Tots donation that the court made.
Do I need to make a motion to
We're going to do that in item and business later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah. Okay, is there any other thing that anybody knows that I don't know about? Okay, if not, we'll move in then to our items of business today. The first item of business is to approve a preventive maintenance agreement for the HVA system over at the Justice Center. Well, let me, before we do that, every department head or every elected official that's here today, at the last court meeting, we were asked to get an inventory of all of our electric equipment, our copiers and printers, security cameras, and I need everybody to take a list of this and try to take this list and come up with a form so we can talk about what we need to do as far as a person to maintain equipment for us. Tyler, this is what you sent me.
Yeah.
And you might want to talk about it just a little bit, and I need one of them back.
Oh, you can make a copy of it? Okay. Yeah, so, we talked last meeting about about getting an inventory, so we'll have a better idea of how we can address all of the technical equipment that we have and keeping it maintained and up to date. So I sent Judge a list of items and the specifics about it that we need in order to make a better decision. And plus, when we go out and reach out to places to maybe that could take care of our equipment if we do it that route, then they're going to want to know this anyway. They're going to want to know how many computers we got. So you just want to give everybody one?
Yeah, give everybody one. And so I know the question came up last court meeting about the 911 center, and we decided that, the court decided that we need to get an inventory and decide what direction we need to go in. Well, I've done it for department heads. I didn't do it for the court, but that's okay. We might have to make some more copies.
Well, we got,
I can make more copies for the ones that's not here today. Okay, one other thing.
Right? This was sent to us in an email.
Yeah, we've CC'd.
yeah, I copied all y'all on it, didn't
I got it.
I? Okay, yeah.
Okay, one other thing while we're talking about it, I had these two things laying loose in there because it just came in. We've had some concerns, employee concerns about our insurance plan. And in an effort to assist employees with all questions and concerns, as well as assist anyone who needs to help getting the 1 point out working. Kelly Harden will be at the Logan County Courthouse on Thursday, December the 3rd, from 8 to 12, and on Thursday, December the 10th, 8 to 12. Any employee wanting to speak with Kelly with need to schedule an appointment and time that they may be done by contacting Amanda Stratton at our office number. Additional days have been discussed, but before dates are set, we want to see how many employees need assistance on these 2 days. COVID precautions will be taken to ensure the health and safety of the employees as well as Kelly. A reminder will also be sent out with the pay stubs on December the 4th, but I want to make sure the employees had the information and plenty of time to get the appointment if they wanted one. And hopefully we've got most of this worked through, Thomas, but there was a few bills that came in toward the 1st of July that we found out there that hadn't been paid. You know what I'm talking about, and then we had them other issues that's been talked about. So we're going to get Kelly and them are coming up here, and hopefully everything is running a whole lot smoother than it was, and hopefully this thing will be worked out in a very short period of time now. Everything, okay?
Good, I appreciate you coming and working through that with those who are having issues, but be successful, so appreciate you taking the time to do that.
Sometimes new things take a little time to get adapted and work out all the kinks. Hopefully he can do that. I think he will.
Okay, now, first item of business is approve preventive maintenance agreement with HVAC system at the Justice Center. we was able to get 2 proposals. One from TP Mechanical. That proposal is $25.49 a year. I think both of them for a 3-year agreement. If y'all want to look at that one. And then we got one from HMC. That's for $27.48. But we had a problem over there with that system, and the Administrative Office Court has approved HMC on an emergency situation to go ahead and fix that chiller. And they've already signed off that they're willing to, or wanting to go ahead and do the agreement with HMC since they've done the repair work on it. And maybe a little bit more familiar with it. But I'll give y'all a second or two to read over those proposals.
We're talking about the HVAC at the Justice Center.
Justice Center, yeah.
And you're saying that this HMC is the one who's currently been working on it?
They've currently worked on it a few times, and we had a problem with it going down about a month ago, Thomas. And they're currently working on the program over there, you know, of getting it all up and going. I think to tell you the truth, hopefully it's all going again now. And in saying that, I got them to, and AO, you can see that letter from Michelle Evans, talking about our records indicate that a request for reimbursement approval has been made for the preventive maintenance agreement, Logan County Court of Justice. This letter is to notify you that reimbursement approval is given for a quoted amount by HMC not to exceed $27.48. The total cost of the preventive maintenance agreement will be reimbursed to the county as part of the regular operating cost that is reimbursed to the county quarterly by the AOC.
It looks like on the back of TP's bid, there's only 3 units for that whole building.
It's only what?
3 units.
Well, it's like this building here. What it's got an outside condenser, okay, for the air conditioning, and then it's got a couple of pumps inside. That is part of it. And now there is a couple boilers in there, like we got, you know, in this building. And that building, this building here is similar to that now. This building here, every so often, turns over the air inside the building. So, you know, it's got to be conditioned at all times.
Speaking of price, in my opinion, they're both the same price. I mean, we're talking about $100 and $200 difference. And the company has already been working on it and is familiar with the system. I would be more inclined.
As long as they've had good experience, yeah.
You know,
You know that
just look
they
at both companies up on the internet, they both seem to be well established, good reviews. How much reviews people get for big mechanical contractors, especially now. Not like the residential market, but, and one of them is a Texas company, another one's a lot. The one we're currently working on is out of Louisville, the other one's in Cincinnati.
The current one's a 3-year lease, and it's not a lease, but 3-year contract, and the TP's a 2-year, looks like. I don't know if that makes any difference.
The other one is too.
That's a 3-year.
I'm pretty sure. Let me look at it.
And you know, has Jailer Greger say he's had good experience with this company?
It says 3.
This is the Justice Center.
Oh, Justice Center.
Yeah. This is the,
Okay.
and that's
Gotcha,
why there's gonna be,
gotcha.
I mean, it's, we're getting reimbursed for this, right?
Oh, well. I
HM
thought I was
say
talking
what?
about the,
We get reimbursed for this.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm like Thomas, I say, the company's already familiar with it. They're a Kentucky-based company. That'd be my choice.
CP is a 2-year and HMC is a 3.
Yeah.
So that kind of locks in inflation, bring on year to worry about inflation.
All right, rock and roll.
I mean, do you know any issue of, to me, $200.
Trying to wake up over here.
Well,
I would be
My-
for the company that's already been working on it and the company that's taking back.
yeah, well, we tried to get some other quotes go ahead to, you know what I'm talking about, you know, a lot of situations, Thomas, that we run into with that unit over there, they want to charge you to come quote a fix. You know what I'm talking about, you know. Now, that don't mean that, that we might not, this is just preventive maintenance, you know, if something big enough happens over there, we're gonna have to get bids anyhow. You know, it's preventive maintenance, and AOC's already sent their letter of approval to HMC. But I think that needs to be included in the motion that we're, you know, if we accept that one, it's because, you know, we feel like that the company that's been working on the thing and is familiar with it, and,
kind of letter of approval from the AOC.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I put that in form of motion then. I mean, that we, what's the name of it again? We accept bid from HMC for cost of $27.48. It's per year for 3 years. Due to the fact that we've already been using them and had a good experience, have done a good job, and we've also got a letter of approval from AOC to continue to use the company, or their recommendation to use the company.
I'll second that.
Okay, got a motion and a second. Now, is there any questions? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, I sent out, they sent to me, and I sent out to every one of y'all a video on this recommendation of that syringe exchange. I hope that every one of you's taken time to look at that. I know we don't want this to sound like we're aiding or a situation, but basically what it's for is to, and I think Todd County is doing it, along with Barron County and Warren County. This is not aiding a situation, but basically what it's doing is keeping the spread of disease down, and like hepatitis and HIV, this needle exchange. And so, Thomas, I know you've had some contact. I don't know if you had him more or not.
Is this something we're gonna have to vote on, is this it?
Do what?
We're gonna be voting on it?
It's whatever the court wants to do.
If it gets a
We'll either
motion.
vote on it or vote on it at another court meeting.
Well, I'm 100% against it. In other words, you know, I came down to the judge's office and looked at it on video, and y'all had it sent to y'all on what you looked at it, no.
Yep, I watched it.
But it don't make sense to me to give a drug dealer or people on drugs I don't care if the needles are clean. It just, to me, it looks to me like you can be encouraging them too. Well, they give me more needles, so I'll just keep going.
Well, what
I don't care if we vote 5 minutes now. I mean, I'm 100% against it. I'm gonna vote no if we vote.
well, what they do, Robert Earl, they offer them,
I know what to do. Reading it, I listened to that video. I thought about it all the way home.
yeah, well, they offer counseling and they offer, different things with the needle exchange, you know what I'm talking about, try to encourage them to get off of it.
They offer counseling, or is counseling required? They offer, or is counseling required?
No, they offer it, they can't require it.
If they
Well, I
can't,
guess they could require it if they wanted to, because they wouldn't have, I mean, it's a service they're
Part of this
offering.
program, no.
Do what?
It's not part of this program.
No, it's not.
Matter
It's
of
not.
fact, they don't do the counseling there, they refer you to counseling.
And I think
Refer you to
life
counseling.
skills or somebody probably does that.
yeah, life skills, that's what I was told, life skills.
So I don't mind sharing my 2 cents, and I have called and talked to, I had one person reach out to me, and that so happened to be our circuit judge who handles these cases, and so he's bent my ear on that, and I relied on him for some information. So first of all, on the video, I didn't see any information there that would lead me to think that because of this program, there's going to be a reduction of drug use. So that's one reason why I can't support it. I do understand Mr. Cowell's viewpoint and agree with it personally that I would be supporting drug use, but we could use the same mentality about distributing contraceptives, and so, I don't want to go down that slope. But I personally do not support the needle exchange personally, but I can overlook that and say, hey, is this for the betterment of the health of all of the counties? And I could support it if I thought it did. And I don't see it on their video that had the chart on it. You'll notice that Logan County was not a county that this was a problem in. When I asked Judge Hendricks, the cases that he are seeing, are these people using intravenously, taking an injection? And he said, no, they're smoking, and why would you encourage a more dangerous form of of consuming the drug? So I guess, I don't know, Jack could probably tell us better, but I'm assuming what the judge told me, that injecting it is more dangerous than smoking. But I don't see any benefit of lowering drug use because of this needle exchange program. So therefore, I don't see that Logan County has the problem. The video that was shown to me clearly showed that Logan County does not have a problem with intravenous drug use. And I did some research online too. There's other communities that have done it that it's not successful. It didn't achieve what they were trying to achieve, and it was of no use. So I guess you can research all day long. You'll find people who support it. You'll find people who are against it. But it's just, you can just Google it, and you'll find 10 communities that says it's great, and you'll find 10 communities says that it's not. Why I weighed my basis on the communities that were saying it was great, they were communities that had the problem. They have a intravenous drug problem, and it was successful. The counties that kind of said that it really wasn't successful, it didn't do anything for them, they were more rural communities that didn't have this problem. So I'm not going to support it.
Like you, I've had 4 or 5 people that didn't know nothing about it, so I had to ask them. They didn't know about it. And every person that I asked, they said, well, don't give them no more needles. I mean, that didn't make sense to them. So
Okay, well, what the main reason here is to cut the expense, you know, the spread of diseases, and is the health department's thought in this. And I was expecting one of them here today to kind of explain the program, but evidently this COVID's got them bogged down. And I know it's working in Warren, as Barron and Ty County's doing it.
It's working.
Well, what
The
I'm saying,
program's
they're
going. It may or may
Yeah.
not be working.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've watched the video, Judge. I appreciate you sending us the information and letting us, give us a chance to research before we talked about it, because that's real important. And I did, I talked to people, I talked to Jackie, and,
Of course, city council's already passed it, Russell City Council and the health board.
right, well, that's their, but, so, you know, I think maybe in places, I'm kind of like Thomas, in places that have this problem, I just don't know that it may work from other places, I just don't know that it's for Logan County. So, and I don't know if I could have good conscience in knowing that maybe, you know, I mean, yeah, if you're reusing dirty needles, I mean, that's not something that's good for that person's health, but it's also not good that they start down a path of using drugs. So, for the thought of, you know, I'm aiding somebody that's a user to say, hey, that's to me, there's too much promotion. I understand. I mean, I want to do I would like for us to do something that would help drug users to combat the problem. I just don't think this is the answer. If it was a requirement for someone to exchange their needles and actually go through some counseling about their drug use addiction, then I could put more support behind it. But since, you know, you basically can take dirty needles and get new ones and walk away, that's why I can't put support behind it either. But I appreciate you sending us the video, and I watched it, and I just don't think it's for Logan County, my personal opinion.
Jack, can you shed any light on this?
You saying don't talk to me, Judge?
Do what?
Different Jack.
Jack,
Okay, when a person's on those drugs, their life is in a spin, you know, it's miserable to them, whether they know it or not. So I cannot and will not vote to change those needles. Cannot.
This is a real tough, touchy subject, and I can't really voice an opinion on it. I've just got to be professional on this. This is geared more towards drug users and not drug dealers, which is what I deal with. And, you know, Tyler and I had a pretty long conversation about it. You know, I'm not going to put my support behind it. I'm not going to really offer an opinion other than what I have told the health department, what I've told anybody that asked me. If that did happen, we wouldn't be standing outside the health department trying to bust somebody because they had a needle. But, you know, a block down the street, if they have an interaction with the police, they're going to go to jail. You know, if they're in possession of a controlled substance or a dirty needle or whatnot. So, I know in bigger cities, like inner cities, they've got a big heroin problem where people, you know, people that are addicts that can walk in and out of these clinics like they're living on the street. They're not having to drive there. You know, you could argue both ways on that. Here in Russellville, the only way to get to the health department, you'd have to drive there. So, you know, you can't promote somebody that's under the influence of drugs to drive somewhere to exchange a dirty needle. So, like I said, I have compassion for users. You know, people think of us as the drug task force going after dealers, and we do, but we also try to promote, you know, healing and education and treatment. Now, I'm on the drug board. I'm on the drug court with Judge Hendricks. You know, and you know those people there. You know, they're having to go through drug court but they're held to this, like, we're gonna give you a little break on your sentence, but you've got to do all these things, write reports, take weekly drug tests. I mean, there's some accountability there, and if you don't, then you're right back where you started. So there's some accountability. So as far as this exchange program, I know they have it in other counties. I've talked to my colleagues that work those counties. It's really not impacted what they do one way or another, because I don't think that they see a big volume of people coming in there, because a lot of people that are, are using needles or whatnot, they just, they're in a bad place, and they may not just, take the time to go exchange that. So I know it's a hot button topic, and like I said, people have been asking my opinion on it, and I can't really give an opinion other than my professional opinion is it really doesn't enter our realm of what we do, because it's focused on the users. Yeah, there's people that are using IV drugs here. That's what you graduate to. You start out snorting it, start out smoking it, then you inject it. You can't inject meth. You can't inject heroin. There's certain things. People don't usually inject cocaine, but they do heroin and meth. Usually cocaine, they turn it into crack and smoke it that way, because that's a real potent way to do it. So, I mean, I'm kind of, I can't promote it, and I'm not going to talk really against it. I'm just saying that it's not really going to affect what we do. And I don't know if that's, I was at that initial presentation the health department did. I was invited, like some of y'all were, but I haven't delved down into the research of that, because that's really kind of an area out of our area, because that's more in the user element and the treatment element, and I'm more into the enforcement part. So I know it seems like I'm talking in circles, but I'm trying to navigate my way through this and try to see both sides of the issue. So, I can't try to sway your vote one way or another, other than I'm just saying, like I said, I really feel for somebody. Yeah, we do get needles off the street. We see them in the ditches. And would that solve that? I'm not sure. I want to see some data for some counties that did it. If they're still seeing dirty needles on the street, I don't know. So, like I said, I'm not here to talk against it, and I'm not here to talk for it. So, sorry if that's the best I can do.
Okay, well,
Appreciate you, Jack.
that's all I expected. Okay.
Thank you, Jack.
I'd like to ask another question, if I could. Is drugs an addiction? And if so, does it turn into a sickness?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't quite understand the question, Jack. What did he say?
He said, is drug an addiction,
Well, I asked if
and does it eventually turn
Go
into
ahead.
a sickness? And I think the answer to that probably is yes. Be my answer.
Okay, evidently, we're not even gonna get a motion, so I guess this will be, I don't guess anybody's willing to make a motion.
I mean, I do appreciate, the health department trying to, come up with some ideas and some things that
Well,
might.
basically, where this basically got started in Logan County, they've received grants.
Right.
And United Way, which was Logan County's money to start with. You know what I'm talking about. They saw enough, I guess, need for it that they gave the health department a grant for Logan County to do the program. And so I guess it was a grant too, maybe the health department had to apply for, but they did award the grant, United Way did. So, I entertain a motion either way. If not, it just dies from no action. Okay, we'll move on then to the next one. And that's the reappointment of Charles Cooper and John Keith Smith to the airport board for 4-year term.
Motion to approve reappointments, Charles Cooper and John Keith Smith for 4-year term.
Okay, we got a motion and a second. Is there any questions? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Howe,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, next item of business is delete from inventory 18 Glock 22 MY1 trigger guns, 40 caliber. And this basically happened in 2017-18 year, and you can see the motion number 5 on the June 20. There was a motion by Dickie Carter, second by Drexel Johnson, to accept a quote from Kaiser Police Supply Incorporated for the purchase of 25 Glock 22 Gen 440 caliber semi-automatic full-size duty pistols with Glock 9 sights, including 3 magazines and an interchangeable backstrap. After trade-in allowance on 22 Glock 22 Gen 3 pistols at a total price of $48.95 to be paid with a LEP grant from the Kentucky Office of Homeland Security, and to be paid out of 2017-18 budget. Okay, the next motion was July 25th, and that motion by Thomas Bowden, duly second by Barry Wright, to approve the surplus 1822 MY1 trigger guns as surplus property for Logan County Sheriff's Department. That was 2 motions that we made. In the past, we've allowed deputies to buy them, but this one never went through court. The guns were sold to deputies, which the court did not acknowledge, and did not have no record of how many guns were sold and whom they were sold to and the price they were sold and how many may have been traded in. But we did pay $48.95. And if y'all wonder why this has been laying around so long, I was told not to take them off inventory for a while. But right now, we've already surplused them. We don't have possession of them, and we're just asking to delete them from inventory.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Okay? Okay, we got a motion and seconds. Any questions? Okay, let's have a roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Howe,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Just inform the court, I mean, that is a pretty standard thing that a deputy can buy his gun whenever something happens. You know what I'm talking about, you know, when something like this happens. And the court has allowed that before, you know, but we didn't do it on these.
Ones I remember, they were allowed to purchase it at what the trade-in value was, correct?
If they what?
They were allowed to purchase it at what the trade-in value
Yes,
was.
yes.
We just don't know where the money's at.
Well, we still didn't pay but more than the motion what said, you know, $48.95, and that works in your folder. That's what we paid. So, okay, next item of business. Have we voted on that?
Oh, no, it ain't.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So we had a motion and a second.
Yeah,
Let's have it.
On the guns,
Okay.
we voted on that.
Oh, we voted on
that.
Huh?
We voted on that.
Okay.
Okay. All right, I'll make a motion to approve to rescind order number 18 of the November 10th, 2020 fiscal court minutes, and that was to give Auburn $200 for the Christmas parade, which they canceled and not gonna have.
Okay, I'll second that. I guess if that's what we want to do, right, Judge?
Yes.
Okay, I'll second that.
Okay, he's already ahead of me this morning. This item of business is to approve to rescind order number 18 of the November 10th, 2020 fiscal court meeting. And we had a motion and a second. Since they're not having a parade, is there any questions? Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley. Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, next item of business, I'm sure that most of you that's got got this email to you, and I was asked to take it to court, is to discuss a resolution to support, to address the modernization of Kentucky transportation funding mechanism for, and address transportation funding needs throughout the Commonwealth. I'm sure that all of you received this from the Masters Association. We will just use this template to do it if we pass this today. I know we talked about this, about 2 years ago, Tom?
So they,
Yeah, we've discussed it several times.
so they want us to support and address the modernization of Kentucky's transportation funding what are the funding mechanisms? Does it say it in here? What they're wanting to do?
Well, the funding mechanisms, as far as I know, is
Just says modernization.
usage fee on gasoline, and then there's been a lot of talk the last few years about what they're going to do about these electric cars.
I got
They're
you.
trying to, I think this is what this is restructure the gas tax and put it, in where it
Right.
increases every year a certain
Yeah.
amount.
Right now, compared to what we were getting several years ago, and I'd have to go back and look, when usage tax, when they let the floor drop. I mean, they didn't have a floor on it when they just allowed it to drop.
Yeah.
We were taking in somewhere between close to 400,000 more a year we were getting from the transportation usage fuel tax than what we've received the last 3 or 4 years. So if it had maintained itself back, and I know Thomas on the court and Barry's on the court, I think at that time, I'd say we've lost way over $1 million in the last 3 to 4 years. Funding that would have came to Logan County to support our road system.
So it's time to update it. Get some modernization. I agree with that. I'll make a motion to approve the resolution then.
I'll second that.
And you can see the state roads and the condition some of the state roads are in need improvement.
Yeah. Need lots of improvement. District 1 is broke too, so District 1 needs some road money.
Yeah. Okay, we have a motion and a
all rich
second.
districts.
Now, is there any more discussion about this resolution? Okay. Any discussion? If not,
What is their goal, or what is their plan, or what is their fee, or what,
well,
it's just out in the air.
yeah, what this resolution doing is just sending an encouragement from Logan County for the legislators to take a look at modernizing the fuel usage tax.
So it is vague. The only thing that's not vague is if you know what Representative Sal Santoro has been doing. That is really kind of the only thing that is leaning towards one way or the other. Other than that, you're just telling them that we are supporting, that y'all sit down and modernize the fuel tax, which I'm 100% in agreement on. I wouldn't be 100% in agreement if it had some numbers on it, because it doesn't tell me, well, are you going to do this, or are you going to do this, or how are you going to raise the 900 million? That's what it doesn't tell you. But this resolution I will support because they do. They've been needing to do it for 10 years to modernize how we collect motor fuel tax money because of multiple things. What started this was the way it's currently set up is when the price of gasoline goes up, the tax can only go up so much. It can't just drastically jump up 50 cents a gallon. But when it falls, there's no limit to how much it can fall. So when you get used to spending $1 billion a year on infrastructure for your roads, and then all of a sudden, gas prices drop 75 cents a gallon, and now you're only collecting 700 million, everybody's like, oh crap, what do we do? We're used to spending $1 billion. So that's what started that, and when everybody started panicking, I wasn't in support because it wasn't my fault you spending $1 billion, you know. You should have had this already in place to where it couldn't fall. It should be able to rise a certain percent and fall a certain percent. The other reason I do support it is because one thing about the motor fuel tax is we do capture people from other states. You drive through, gas is, what it is, and, if you're from Tennessee or Alabama or whatever, you're driving through our state, you capture those revenues as they come.
That thing,
The last thing that's driving this that, hasn't hit us hard yet, but it's going to 10 years from now, is electric cars. You're not capturing, they're using the roads, but they're not capturing any tax for that usage. So you've got to modernize that and be ahead of it, not behind it. And so they do need to sit down and figure that out and figure out a way to capture, what are we going to do about electric cars? It's 1/10 of 1% today, but 10 years from now, it's probably going to be 5%, maybe even 10%.
I agree.
You got to capture that
And
tax because
District 1's broke.
You got enough money now. 10 years from now, you're showing money.
I think I was on a conference, and I think was that Sal guy not talking on that conference that you're talking about?
Santoro?
Yeah.
He was.
And I think it's been like this for 34 or 38 years. There's been no change.
No change.
And something about if they just raised it like 2 cents, it would cost the average household maybe $60 extra a year, and it would raise this money
That
right
was
here.
that guy. That was
Yeah,
him.
okay.
That's
What does-
mentioned right here in this.
what this, this thing is kind of set up, Barry, right now, kind of like property tax. If it falls, there wasn't no, there wasn't no floor there.
I remember when it happened,
And,
said we take forever.
but-
And Woodward could.
But the thing about it, if the price of oil doubled overnight, the way it's set up now, they can't take but a 4% increase. And it dropped somewhere close to a dime, that was when it was 30 cents. I'm just gonna use that for an example. And say it's, the usage tax, and I don't know what it is, say, let's just use the thing 20 cents. They can't increase it no more than 4% of 20 cents. You know what I'm talking about, when it don't make no difference if the price of fuel goes up to $4 a gallon, they're still stuck with that 4% increase. And plus, Scotty, I know there's been a lot of concerns at the County Clerk Association, and they've probably brought up 15 different things about these electric cars, and they still haven't done anything. And then cars, they got some regulations out there where we're supposed to be driving cars that get close to 30 miles a gallon in 3 more years.
Well, I just read in the last week on electric cars, how many more that they expect in the next few years, and they got them now that'll go 400 miles before you have to recharge them, it said. I just read that last week. So I'm like Thomas, there's gonna be a lot of people going back and forth to work that's not paying any tax on gas
Yeah.
and using the road.
Get on the registration.
Are you going to allow electric cars in District 1?
Yeah.
Okay, do we have a motion in support of this, or what?
The tow road.
Yeah,
Yeah, we've got both.
Got a motion and a second. Is there any more discussion? Okay, then what we'll do, we'll take this and just fill in the blanks more or less, and but I want to get it through court before we went through all that research and some of the questions it asked in there.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright, Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Golden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay. All right, the next item of business, the October 21st meeting. We need to retract order number 21, and then we'll take care of it in the next order of business. And the motion was probably my fault, but the motion, Thomas Bowden, second by Jack Crossley, to acknowledge that the fiscal court assessed the current level of sheriff county revenue bond of $1 million and tax collection the previous year, and is deemed that fiscal court currently sheriff county revenue bond are adequate for risk. We need to retract that motion, and then you've already got the motion written out that we need to do on item number 8.
So moved.
Second.
Jack, you second that. Jack, are you listening?
Judge, are you talking to me? I can't understand you very well.
I second.
Jason's already seconded.
Oh, Jason seconded? Okay, we already got a second, Jack. Okay, any discussion? Let's have, if not, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Golden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, and number 8 is the motion we need to replace it with the knowledge that the fiscal court assessed the current level of sheriff county revenue bond of $500,000 with an additional surety of $1 million and the tax collections of the previous year, and it is deemed by the fiscal court that the current county revenue bond and surety are adequate for risk.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, let's, any discussion? We got a motion and a second. Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Golden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Okay, the next item of business is the annual increase of $200 for full-time and part-time Logan County employees. And we did get written up for that last year, and I expect it again.
Well, Judge, I'm a little confused about it because we approved a salary schedule that had the $200 annual increase included on the salary schedule that we passed. So it should be covered under our salary schedule, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so,
Why do we have to have a motion then?
I don't know, it's listed on the salary schedule at the bottom that,
What, I don't understand, is it $200, just one time 200?
Yeah.
right.
So, the way around giving them a Christmas.
Okay, that's what I want to know, okay.
And we approved it. Right.
So then we wouldn't get rid of it.
Shouldn't. Oh, it's a new approach. We'll see what they say this year. I can look it up, and so I'll tell you what it says at the bottom of the salary schedule. Give me a second.
Okay, I think that needs to be put in the motion, Tyler, if,
But we've already passed the salary schedule, though. It's in the salary.
yeah, but we,
You just want a motion to do the payments?
yeah.
Say authorize payments as laid out in our.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah, so on every salary schedule, at the bottom, it says, employees on this base salary schedule will receive an additional compensation of $200 paid on the first pay period in the month of December. That's what, at the bottom of every salary schedule that we pass. So I mean, if you want us to do it, formally, again, I'll make a motion that we approve the $200 payment per employee as mentioned or already laid out on our salary schedules that we approved previously.
On the next paycheck.
What did it say? The first pay period of December. That's what it says on salary schedule. But, we had discussed that with Amanda and payroll, and that was the best way to do it, I think.
I second the motion.
Yeah, that'll give it 2 or 3 weeks before Christmas instead of right after.
The first pay period of the month of December, yeah.
Okay, we've had a motion, we have a second. And Janice, you got the motion, right?
I'll second it.
Yeah.
Thomas beat you.
That's good. This thing is a second late anyhow.
Yeah, that's right.
And your motion was to make that $200 payment on this check. The reason I'm asking that, Tyler, is I don't, before we'd always have to come back and, and do a motion to not do it anymore.
We don't have to do that. You won't have to do a motion to rescind that. We used to do that as a pay increase.
Yeah.
And that's not how it's set up on the salary schedule. So
Okay.
you're just following the salary schedule.
Okay, let's have roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick,
Yes. Okay, post agenda. All of you got a contract and agreement with Wilson Communications that Joe and Tyler have been working on. If you want to look that over.
The only question I have about it on the very last page, not next to the last page. This is, I guess, a Joe Ross question. So, Joe, on that next to the last page, it says this contract agreement shall be constructed in accordance with the laws of the state of California.
Well, we can just make that Kentucky. I think that was a.
Okay, I was like, why is this California? Maybe there's some kind of law that governs
I was
telecommunications.
adding in language from a contract that I liked, and I said, copy this, and I guess they took it too literally, so.
They copied it, yeah.
Well, I just thought maybe there's something in California that governs telecommunications. But other than that.
As I said, the last person to proofread it was Tyler.
Not believe.
Don't put that on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't put that on me.
That's a good eye.
The tech expert that is, we're in Silicon Valley.
But
so
it wasn't
might be
red.
advantageous.
But it wasn't red, so there was no spell check. So, California spelled right.
I would just say,
I
make that change, and if it's good otherwise.
Okay.
It seems clean.
We're not taking no action on it right now.
I think we've already. We just need to allow the judge to sign the contract. Or we've already done that, I think, right?
Well, we need to approve the contract and,
Okay.
allow me to sign it.
Okay.
Wilson saying it.
Well, I mean, if he has an issue with it.
Right. And I have communicated with Derek Wilson, and he.
Typically, I'm gonna start by getting your all's approval before taking it to the
Right.
other side.
Oh, sorry.
He and Tyler, no, you all were talking.
Yeah, we just talked. He hasn't seen it, but we did.
Contents of the issues, which is what I was expecting.
Okay.
And I guess, Tyler, we need to do it on his approval too.
Okay. So, I'll make a motion to approve the contract and agreement between Logan County Fiscal Court and Wilson Communications, pending, that it's signed by Wilson Communications, and will allow the judge to sign the contract as well.
Okay, motion second. Been made,
who seconded it?
Larry,
Good.
to approve this contract and allow me to sign it if it's agreeable with Mr. Wilson on his end of it. And I talked to him this morning. Is there any other questions? If not, let's have roll call.
Motion adjourned.
We haven't voted on this one.
You got a motion on the table.
Oh, we vote, I thought we voted.
No, we're gonna vote. No. Okay, let's have a roll call.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Bright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes.
Thank you, Judge. Just one thing on public agenda. I did go out there to the ambulance service building and look at that. I was hoping to have the proposal to put out for bid at this meeting, but I just don't. But it just needs some maintenance. Basically, probably about 20% of the screws are backing out. So my recommendation would be to take out all the screws, fit them with oversized screws. There's some residential shingle pipe boots that were used on a metal roof installed. They need to be taken out and changed to metal roof pipe boots. It would also be my recommendation to make sure that you got the correct screws, that the county would just purchase the screws. You're probably talking about $1,000, maybe $1,000. That way you know you're getting the right screws. Anytime you're dealing with a hole that's already there, you don't want to take a chance. There's a very specific screw that needs to be used so that you'll get the longevity. If you really want it done correct, all those screws would be taken out and you would shift the panel either up or down 1 inch or 2 inches so that you don't go back in the same hole. If you really want to get the best, that's what I would do. But usually when you do that, that will require that you put an oversized ridge band in. You usually have to go down, so you slide the panel down about 1 inch. And sometimes that leaves your roofing panel a little short at the top. You correct that by using an oversized ridge vent. All of this is a very relatively inexpensive fix, but I can write it up either which way y'all want it with the proposal, and then you can start requesting bids. You don't have to wait till next court meeting, I don't think. I'll get this done for you in a few days. And,
Okay.
You can start calling people and requesting bids.
Well, that and probably need a list of people,
Yeah, I'll give you a list
I
of
mean,
people
all-
that I know.
The roof, the people that's in the roofing business are busy, as you know.
Well,
You know what I'm talking about.
their problems, although need to be addressed, they're minimal. They're not, it's not like their ceilings falling in or somebody's scared something's gonna fall on a piece of equipment or get a piece of equipment torn up. I mean, we need to fix it as quick as possible, but it's not an emergency situation. But that's the reason I mention it now, so the court can tell you, hey, once you get the proposal or get the recommendation of what needs to be done, then all I need is guidance on whether you want to shift the panels or not.
Is it on glass or is it on sheet?
No, it's straight on sheet.
It's on sheet.
I
So
just
if you
put
move it an inch, you're still gonna get
Screw
it.
that hole.
You need to probably move it at 2 inches, inch and a half to 2 inches. So you know how OSB is. If you only move it an inch, you risk that not getting a real good bite. But an inch and a half is plenty. And use an oversized screw that has they call them a VRT. They actually, the last 3 threads have a V groove in them. And that really makes them clamp down. It makes it a little harder for them to back out.
I say we go off of your recommendation. Whatever you recommend is what it is.
Well, if it was my personal building, I'd shift it down.
I don't know if we need.
No, if it was my personal building, I'd tear it off and I'd put it in the roof. On the roof.
Well, that roof probably got plywood on it, ain't it?
Yeah, that's what it's.
As old as that building is, Thomas, that building was built.
I'm looking at my pictures. I was thinking it was OSB, Judge. I checked that.
It's a misnomer.
I checked it. I don't know if I have a picture of it, but I did. If anybody wants to see it, it'll be in my proposal and I'll send it back out to you, but it just needs some TLC. I mean, I don't have a picture of the plywood.
Okay, well, you're probably right. It was probably built in the 80s.
But it's amazing how many screws are just, mean, it's over 20%. I mean, there's screws plumb gone. I mean, just not even there. And, you know, the screws are in the flats, which makes that a real problem. When they're in the top of the rib, he didn't ever know he had a leak because he wouldn't have it. You know, but these are all put in the flats. So, yeah, it can be fixed and you can spend a little money now and you probably get another 15 plus years out of it if done properly. So it's worth, nothing wrong with them.
You're the roofing pro, we take whatever I go with whatever your recommendation is.
Do we need any motion or anything?
He just made us aware we, long as the board's okay with us going ahead and putting it out.
It's not going to reach the threshold that you're going to have to put it out for an official bid.
Well, you
Or at
have to
least
get
it should.
quotes and anything,
Just call it
anything
next
over,
court meeting, hopefully I'll have.
you think it'd be under $5,000 then?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to get close to 5, but it'd probably be under 5.
Okay, if it's over 5, I have to get court approval.
Well, we're going to get court approval today and be done with it.
Well, I don't know if we can do that, not having a quote.
Oh, you don't have to do the work.
Yeah,
Oh, you wait, I'm just saying, gather the quotes between now and next court meeting, and then next court meeting we'll make a decision. Who we want to hire.
okay.
Because again, it's not an emergency, I mean, if there's something that needs to be temporarily fixed, you call me, I'll come out there and temporarily fix it, but, there's only one or two spots that I was made aware of that was an active leak when they had a pretty decent rain.
We got an electrical problem here.
Okay, and you gonna send that to me today?
It won't happen today.
I'm looking at
I'll
that.
have it to you soon.
Well, the reason I asked is because we gotta plan out when we can put it in the paper, or who we contact about quotes.
Do you have to advertise this?
Not for quotes.
No.
It'll take me a few days to get it. I just might
Okay.
have it pretty fast, so I'll do it over the Thanksgiving break.
Sounds good.
Realistically, Monday.
Appreciate you looking at that, Mr. Roofer.
Whoever we contact will go out there and look at it, so if I want, we'll try to get the quotes as quick as possible. And right now, we normally just have one meeting in December.
I'll get it to you as quick as I possibly can, Joey.
Okay, anything else?
Thanks for the mild chow chow.
Yeah, man, appreciate that.
We need,
Now I make a motion to adjourn.
okay. Got a motion to adjourn, now do we have a second? Okay, let's have roll call for everybody leaves.
Davenport,
Yes.
Crossley,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Harper,
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
Bolden,
Yes.
Chick.
Yes. Steve, I need to see you for